Greetings, children of the screen. Your friendly neighborhood nerds come here once again. So, recently I was hired on by my friend Julia Oliveira to do some editing for some additional stuff for his podcast that he's a part of, The Contrarians, which is essentially a comedy film review podcast where they have a lot of fun taking the opposite view of whatever the Rotten Tomatoes score is. So the first half of it is essentially them just taking whatever the opposing view is and arguing for that, having a little bit of fun with it. And then for the second half of it, you get into the real talk where they actually talk about their real feelings about the show. And the stuff I'm editing is some stuff for their Patreon, but also these warm-up videos that are going to be going on their YouTube channel. So if you like my editing style, and if you dig what you see in this video, then definitely check the link in the description below where you can go and subscribe to their channel, as well as check out their podcast. This specifically is the warm-up for Death Sentence, starring Kevin Bacon, an absolutely awesome revenge movie from the director of the film Saw, but that's just my opinion. What did the Contrarians think about it? Let's take a look.
Hello, Contrarians listeners, Contrarians fans, Contrarians watchers. Here we are with our little pre-show or warm-up for our Death Sentence episode. An epic revenge thriller starring Kevin Bacon, Matt O'Leary making his triumphant return to the Contrarians, John Goodman, and the guy that drove John Goodman around in St. Llewyn Davis,
Garrett Hedlund.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also Kelly Preston and Aisha Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's your preview. Go enjoy the movie and the episode. You don't need to know anything else.
Very violent. That's about all you need to know.
Yes. Oh, directed by James Wan.
Yes.
Before he was, I guess, a household name. This is James Wan with just lowercase letters.
Well, I mean, this was from the director of Saw, so he already had Saw in his back pocket. But
yeah, but he hadn't gone he wasn't major league James Wan.
Yeah.
Creator of other franchises and director of at least 2 Fast and the Furious movies and so on. I'm going to start with some quotes. This movie's rotten, 20%. So got some rotten quotes from the Rotten Tomatoes website. We're also going to figure out where Josh Gad fits in this story. And Alex is going to give you some trivia. And then you'll be ready. So here we go with the quotes. We're going to start with Brandon Phibbs from brandonphibbs.com, who says, "Death Sentence is a laughably bad exercise in the pornography of sadism and the American appetite which voraciously consumes it." The pornography of sadism, Alex. Are you familiar with that type of porn?
I disagree. I am not, no.
Yeah. What is that movie? It has a Criterion. I don't know, some number of days.
120 Days of Sodom.
Yeah, you've seen it.
Salo. I've seen some of it. It's like in the cannibal Holocaust zeitgeist of like I tried because I felt like I should, being like viewing myself as like a film aficionado, and I'm just no, thank you.
All right, Brandon Phibbs, get back to us. Do you have a quote for that?
Would you prefer Death Sentence or 120 Days of Sodom?
Yeah. Did they get a Rotten Tomato? That's it.
His response would be, well, Death Sentence didn't get a Criterion, and I would say, yet.
Next, Christian Toto from Washington Times says, "This sentence is as grisly and violent as the trailer portends." I actually watched the trailer right before I got on this little recording thing. And, I mean, the trailer makes it look dark and violent, but I don't think that the trailer prepares you for how bad it gets.
It's pretty violent. But I think more than the trailer is the being labeled plastered from the director of Saw. I think they definitely wanted to conjure up expectations of gore
based on a novel that was a sequel to Death Wish. That should also make you shudder. It's like, oh God, what's going to happen to Kevin Bacon and his family?
Sadly, there is no cameo from
Charles
Bronson. Yeah,
to put him as give him the John Goodman role,
or like make him the character dies, but you can make him the gas station attendee. That
Oh yeah.
They hold up, yeah. Hey, Pally, you don't want none of this. Yeah, exactly. Here's your polar blow. Now get out of here. No dice.
Speaking of that, Adam Fendelman from HollywoodChicago.com says, "Don't hire Kevin Bacon for a role you wrote for Charles Bronson."
Yeah, I mean,
Bacon
we
does
talk,
fine.
yeah, and as we talk about in the episode, the writer of the novel that it's based on thought it was pretty fucking cool, and it's what it is.
It's Sebastian
Kevin
Shaw.
Bacon, he doesn't have a death wish. He sentences death.
He's handing out death sentences. Very different. And we're going to close with Susan Granger from susangranger.com, who says, exploitative and overwrought with extreme violence. One of the worst movies so far this year. Alex.
We talk about 2007 film in the episode a little bit, and it is not the worst movie of 2007.
Do you have, like, off the top of your head, like a worst movie of 2007? Because I know we always talk about the high points.
Yeah.
But...
I mean, I'd have to think about it. I was about to say Rob Zombie's Halloween, but then that would have been just for shits and giggles. What was it? Atonement? I'd rather watch Death Sentence again than Atonement.
Poor James McAvoy. Well, I mean, Halloween, the Rob Zombie's Halloween versus Death Sentence.
The only reason that comes to mind is because they came out the same day. We talk about that in the episode.
Right, but would you, opening day? No, not opening day. Knowing what you know, having watched both movies, now you walk up to movie theater. They've re-released them on the same day again.
Death
Which
Sentence.
one do you go?
Yeah. Knowing what I know now, I'd go see Death Sentence. Ghost Rider came out in 2007. Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer came out in 2007.
That's a fun movie. It's a complete opposite of Death Sentence. There's nothing grisly in there.
That is accurate. What else? The Brave One, which we talk about. Yeah, there's...
Oh, man, that was the year of revenge thrillers.
It really was. Depending on what you're into. Hot Rod, I know there's a lot of people that hate that movie and would probably say Death Sentence is a better movie than that. I think it's hilarious, but And Spider-Man 3.
No, come on.
I would rather watch this again than Spider-Man 3.
That's only because you haven't watched Spider-Man 3 in a while. I think you need to remember the good things about it.
I have not, because I watched it once and I was like, never again.
All right. Well, let us know. What's the worst movie of 2007?
There you go.
Is it better than Death Sentence? Let's see if Susan Granger is correct on this one. But in the meantime, we're gonna move on to the Josh Gad minute. Alex, what role does Josh Gad play in Death Sentence?
I mean, he could be the gas station attendee is kind of like a whoa, and have people like the rest of the movie thinking, was that Josh Gad?
Well, no, because we already put Charles Bronson there. So
that's true.
We can't...
Well, okay, so then the easiest one would be he's like the buddy, the work friend of Kevin Bacon that hangs out in his office and talks about everything with him. Because you're not gonna make Gad. I guess you can make him one of the henchmen, or you can't give him the John Goodman role because he's not old enough to be Garrett Hedlund's dad. But I think the safe bet would be someone who works in the office and is friends with the guy who's friends with Kevin Bacon, or you can make him like one of the security guards or the one that has some speaking lines just to make sure you get your money's worth.
Or you make him the DA. That's what I was thinking. Just one scene, but he gets to really
just a huge dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about too. We agreed we wouldn't want to do anything to replace Aisha Taylor, so her casting is safe.
Yeah. No, she's. You need one woman that makes it to the end of the movie.
Yeah. Aisha Tyler. I said Taylor for whatever reason, but yes, that is true. One female has to be able to see this through.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's settled then. Alex, what trivia do you have for us?
As we've mentioned several times now, it was directed by James Wan, written by Ian Mackenzie Jeffers, and based on Death Sentence, a 1975 novel by Brian Garfield, starring Kevin Bacon, Garrett Hedlund, Kelly Preston, Aisha Taylor, and John Goodman. Released on August 31st of 2007, same day as Rob Zombie's Halloween. That might be the first time we have two movies on the podcast that were released on the same day. So that's, some ground broken there. Because, of course, you release a movie named Halloween on August 31st. A budget of $20 million with a box office return of 17. So obviously did not set the world on fire. As we mentioned, a 20% consensus on Rotten Tomatoes. In the scene where John Goodman's character is killed, graffiti in the background can be seen showing the Jigsaw doll from Saw, which I did not notice. And I had to rent this movie, so I still don't have access to it. But I'm eventually going to have to go back and check that out because that's obviously kind of a cool Easter egg.
Does that mean that this takes place in the same universe as Saw?
I think it takes place in the universe where Saw exists as a movie. And then,
okay. So there's a deleted scene where one of Kevin Bacon's kids is watching Saw 3.
Oh, yeah. Or like John Goodman's just, cleaning his guns and watching Saw 2 for the 900th time. Here it comes, saying something like that. Originally, Aisha Tyler's character as the detective was conceived to be a 50-year-old veteran male detective. I really enjoy the direction they went with instead, because the grizzled, like, old detective that's right near retirement that's like played out at this point. And she's pretty good in this. We talk about the episode. She gives a pretty good performance. So I was okay with the direction they took with that, because I don't need to see fucking Kevin Bacon talking to another old dude.
Robert Duvall. I mean,
yeah, it'd be awesome.
But then we go back to the whole point of then your one major female character dies halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of dudes at the end.
And it's just fucking hot dog cart at the end of the film. Garrett Hedlund shaved his head and gained 20 pounds for the role of Billy Darley. He gained 20 pounds and still looks like that, dude. If I lose 20 pounds, I'm still fat. He's just like, yeah, I'm hot as shit. I can gain this weight and nothing happens. I wish there was some note of like, he regrets getting the actual tattoo on his neck for the role in this movie.
So you think that Kevin Bacon felt threatened, and then he was like, okay, I'll shave my head too. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it to happen in the movie.
Like, the method acting was so on point that they just like started one-upping each other and whatnot.
Then Garrett Hedlund went ahead and killed a person just to make sure that he got it.
Based on the book Death Sentence, the direct sequel novel to Death Wish, which itself was made into a movie, Death Wish of 1974 starred Charles Bronson. The 1974 version spawned 4 sequels, none of which were influenced by the novel series. The author, Brian Garfield, has disliked and does not care for each of the sequels due to how it departs from his original character and themes in the book. And that kind of leads into, despite the deviations from the novel, Brian Garfield was extremely happy with Death Sentence and praised it for its understanding and making the central theme very clear. Which, I mean, we talk about, I think the theme is pretty easy, so it's not, or pretty simple, I should say, so it's kind of easy to make it clear.
I know I asked you on the episode, but I want to ask again. You don't have to give me the answer, but it's like, what is the theme, Alex? Don't poke the bear. Let the bear maul your family, but don't seek revenge.
When in doubt, shave your head and buy a bunch of guns illegally. That's the idea. America, what a great country. So this last one here, I guess we could kind of say is like the spoiler one, because it's the alternate ending. In the alternate extended version of the film, Kevin Bacon dies at the end. Do you think anything was stood to be gained or lost with Nick Hume, our main character, perishing at the end of this movie?
It depends, like, how, if you shoot it as a tragedy or if you shoot it as a triumph. I think. What's James Wan gonna go with? Because
I don't think it's going to be the end of glory where Matthew Broderick, marches on.
Aisha Tyler just like wipes away one tear, closes his eyes, sleep well, sweet prince. I don't know. I mean, I'm not crazy about the ending as it is right now, and we'll talk about it in the episode. But I guess I appreciate the ambiguity in a way. I don't know.
For a movie like this, it feels like it would be too lazy for like him just to die in the end. Sometimes the things left on the cutting room floor are things that were changed during production or changed for a reason. And because we couldn't figure it out, and because we had such a fun time figuring it out, there's a character in this who's part of the gang played by an actor named Eddie Gaithji, maybe. I'm sorry, Eddie, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but when we figured out who he was, he plays a character in X-Men First Class, and we talk about that in the episode, but then if we did, I don't remember, we put together that Kevin Bacon's also in that. Yep. And I think Kevin Bacon's the bad guy in that, right?
Yeah, Sebastian Shaw.
Yeah, that's right. So the reverse of fortunes in that.
Yeah, a quarter kills him.
Up until that point in the movie, he still wins though and kills a lot of people. But yeah. You will find nothing in, as shocking as it may sound, you will find nothing in Death Sentence as ridiculous and as melodramatic as the quarter death scene from X-Men First Class.
You would have preferred Fassbender to just go get some guns from John Goodman and start
Yes.
blasting away.
That would have been way more enjoyable because you wouldn't have fucking James McAvoy going, ah.
All right. Well, that's a trivia. There's more trivia in the episode, more quotes. No more Josh Gad talk, but then there's also just a recapping of the plot. And like I said, 20%. So Contrarians Corner is all about us praising that sentence. And then Real Talk is about Alex and I having a healthy discussion about whether it's an actual good movie or not. And then coming up next, we have our patron invasion, patron takeover of the main feed, which means that it's going to be 99% patron picks. We're going to start with Demutations, a movie from the mid-70s starring Donald Pleasence. It's a horror sci-fi movie, I think. And
can't stay away from the doc.
Yeah, I mean, at least one Pleasence a year.
Why am I really liked that movie. What was the other one we watched? Wake and Fright.
Wake and Fright, yes.
Yeah, and the Mutations. So
yeah, fulfilling his Contrarians contract, Donald Pleasence comes back. All right, so watch that sentence, listen to our episode, come back for the next installment of these videos. But thank you for watching, listening, just being Contrarians fans, and we'll talk to you again soon.